Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. Gerry, Terry, Max. We are back with a match preview of Everton's midweek tussle with Newcastle. So just a little bit about Newcastle. I think it's highly unlikely their manager will be running onto the pitch. I would say highly unlikely that he's running anywhere anytime soon. He just looks like somebody who likes a comfortable stroll. Yeah. But he is somebody who hasn't. What would you say?
No comment.
He's somebody who hasn't been too informed or kind about Everton in the past. And yeah, it happens. Besides the fact that Rafa's their manager, there's the fact that we've talked about it on our last segment, this is Newcastle. This is Pickford's boyhood rival, so he doesn't like them. So that's a thing. He'll have plenty of motivation on this one now. They're currently 15th in the table, so they're tearing it up. Right now they got 12 points, 3-8. They recently lost to West Ham 3-0. I think Chicharito got 2 goals. I really just wanted to say Chicharito, folks. Just like saying Chicharito. Before that, they beat Burnley 2-1, and then they beat Bournemouth 2-1.
Yeah, they had a good run, didn't they? I think they won.
They had a little good run before kind of falling on their face against West Ham. I think Richie is banned for this one, so he's not really going to play. So, guys, I got a list of possible starters. I'll get there in a minute. I think last time we started with Max just because he was willing. So let's go to Terry and put him more on the spot on this one because it's Newcastle and it has nothing to do with the derby. Terry, how are you feeling about this midweek game?
Really glad we've got a game so quickly after the derby. That was one of the things, even before the match, I thought, well, either way, you get to either get it out your system or build on it, no matter what the results, straight away. And if I could have a derby 2 days after, have a game after a derby, 2 days after a derby every time, I think I would. I think it's an ideal game to go into after such a disappointing result and after such an unjust result in the previous game, because you get to have a home match against I don't want to say lesser team, but they are, aren't they? And a chance to really bounce back and just put it out of everyone's mind and go, yeah, that hurt for a few days, but we're back at it now. It won't affect our season. Pickford especially, like you mentioned, it's a team and a set of supporters that he's got no love for, so I'd love to see him bounce back with a clean sheet against them. These will be very different than Liverpool, obviously. They're a Rafa Benitez team. They'll be more like Cardiff, where in maybe a little bit better than Cardiff, but same sort of setup. They're going to probably defend deep, get men behind the ball, low block, and just try and steal something on set pieces. And Benitez has always been a negative manager, just at varying levels of players at the different clubs he's been at. It's his style. Any defender who plays for him tends to look better than they probably are, just because of the way he sets the team up. So, yeah, players have got a massive chance to bounce back, put it out of everyone's minds, and put some points on the board, and hopefully go some way to securing 6th spot for it, going into Christmas, because the crucial part of the season now. Man United didn't look too good against Southampton either.
Max,
where
do you want to go with this one?
Got to be 3 points, hasn't it? Really, I think that's just got to be the bullet point that comes before anything else. There's the perfect chance to bounce back, as Terry said. I'm debating on whether or not to go with the game. I don't know whether it's because I'm a bit disheartened after the derby or what, but I don't know. I'm cautious that we might fall on our face, if you know what I mean. I don't want this to become I don't want a loss to Liverpool to trigger this sort of implosion. Maybe that's just me being Mr. Worst Case scenario, but I don't like playing Rafa Benitez, and I don't particularly like playing Newcastle. I remember the it's where the starfish phrase derived from for Tim Howard. Do you remember? I think it was Demba Ba who ended up scoring like a last minute winner because Tim Howard ended up doing a starfish right in front of him. But I don't know. We're better than this Newcastle team. We're playing good football at the minute. If we play the type of football that we did against Liverpool, against not just Newcastle but any club outside of the top six, excluding Man United, obviously, I think we probably score more goals than them. Got to take chances. A point I want to touch on. I know it's looking like Silva's starting to prefer Calvert-Lewin to Tosin. I wouldn't mind seeing Tosin get a good few minutes under his belt for this game, because if he's going to grab a few goals, it might be against this Newcastle side.
We'll have to talk more about that in our following segment, our starting 11 segment, where we'll also talk about subs we could bring in, impact players for us. Good point, though. Really good point. I think that's a worthy discussion. Is our front three. I think we need to talk about that some. Possible starters: Dubravka, quality keeper. I think it's very possible that they run 3 in the back, which is really 5 at the back. I think they could start off pretty defensive against us with Schär, Fernandez and Lascelles, Yedlin and Jacob Murphy, because no Richie. I think he might start with Murphy on the side. I feel like he's more of an attacking player rather than a defensive player, but again, that puts some speed on both wings. Mo Diame and Ki Sung Young in the center, and then the 3 I think most dangerous players we have to watch out for, which are Kennedy, Jose Perez, and Rondon, Salomon Rondon, who actually has been scoring some goals lately. They've
got a team of like Premier League misfits, haven't they?
Yeah.
Such a strange team. Like Mo Diame, I remember him from West Ham years back. I remember the other centre midfielder when he got a really important goal for Sunderland against Man City a few years back. The key played for Swansea as well. We've got to be blowing this team out the park.
I think those 3 attacking players, I think they can score goals. I think Kennedy is the one I'm most worried about. I feel like he's a pretty unpredictable player. I don't know. I agree, though. I look at this side, and I don't know, the way we've been playing. If this was another manager, I would be concerned about our mentality after a derby loss like that. I just feel confident in the way Silva is bringing us along. I think we'll bounce back. And I think what's going to be the tough thing is cracking, if they're going to be bunkering back, which I could see them doing. Actually cracking in. I think it could. I think you're right, Terry, to say this. Or it was you, Terry, who said this could look a lot like the Cardiff game. Mm-hmm. I can completely believe that. Except they're a little more electric up front in terms of I think they got more quality players up front. Mm. So. Prediction time. Who wants to start?
I'm going to go with I'll go with 2-0.
Sounds like a wise choice. Max, what do you got?
Blow them out the water. 4-0. Come on.
I said 2-0. And I'm sure everyone could have predicted that after my earlier comments. So we're all picking a win. Yeah, I think we're gonna dominate possession. I think it's really just gonna look like the Cardiff match. So we'll be talking more about who we'd play on Wednesday in terms of who Marco might sub in, since it is a midweek game. Might we see someone like Tosin get more minutes? Might we see a different starting setup? Because of injuries to somebody like Walcott, might we see Lookman finally get a start? Or maybe it has nothing to do with injuries. Maybe it has to do with quality and the fact that Lookman just looks almost impossible to defend when he gets the ball. All right, we'll be talking about that more here in the next segment. So, anything else on this, guys?
Nope.
All right. So, yeah, that's it for our match preview. If you're digging the videos, please subscribe to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. I guess we're past 1360 now. So thanks a bunch for that. Slowly growing, getting toward 1400. You know, maybe be there by the end of the weekend. Who knows? Also, if you'd like to see what Terry has to say about Everton, you can find him on the Liverpool Echo fan jury every once in a while. He'll tell you on his Twitter when he shows up there. Max also does a good job of telling you where you can see him and his analysis. So, hopefully you can check his Twitter for him showing up for, I guess, Premier League productions on Sky. So, yeah. That'll be on Twitter as well. But also he's on the Toffee Blues website. All things Everton on that website, so check that out if you're a Blue who likes to read. I guess that's it. We're going to go talk to a starting 11 segment. So, bye.